Hello Zenith women and welcome to the channel. Not all who lead need followers and not all who love need to smother. When it comes to motherhood, society has long celebrated the nurturing, ever-present archetype. But what happens when a mother rewrites the rulebook, operating more like a lone wolf than a doting hen? Enter the Sigma female, a personality type as rare as it is intriguing. She's independent, introspective, and fiercely authentic. Here's a fact to ponder. Research shows that children of unconventional parents often develop heightened emotional intelligence and adaptability. Now, imagine being raised by someone who loves deeply but shows it through actions, not endless hugs and casseroles. It's parenting with purpose, equal parts empowering and puzzling. So, is a Sigma female mom cool and quietly impactful, or does her independence risk veering into emotional distance? Well, buckle up, because this isn't your cookie-cutter story of bedtime songs and PTA bake sales. Spoiler alert, no one's making brownies here, unless it's to teach the kids how to do it themselves. Number 1. Role model of quiet strength. A Sigma female mother exudes a type of strength that doesn't scream for attention but is impossible to ignore. She doesn't rely on loud declarations or traditional displays of authority. Instead, her power lies in her quiet confidence, the kind of inner resolve that isn't easily shaken by life's chaos. Her children grow up watching a parent who doesn't need to prove herself to the world, and this example speaks louder than any lecture ever could. Her strength shows in the way she handles challenges, with composure and focus. She's not the parent who panics when things go wrong. Instead, she takes a step back, assesses the situation, and then moves forward decisively. This kind of calm under pressure is contagious. Her children learn by observing her, understanding that life doesn't require constant drama or knee-jerk reactions to every obstacle. But what makes her strength so compelling is its authenticity. She's not pretending to be tough or putting on a show for her kids or society. Her strength comes from knowing who she is and not needing external validation. This is an invaluable lesson for her children. They see that strength doesn't have to be about domination or volume. It can be quiet, steady, and deeply rooted in self-awareness. This doesn't mean she's emotionally distant. Her love and care are very real, but she shows them differently. Rather than over-explaining or coddling, she lets her actions and presence speak for themselves. This quiet strength becomes a powerful foundation for her children, teaching them resilience, independence, and how to find their own inner balance. By modeling this, she gives her children a gift that no amount of words could ever fully convey, a sense of unshakable self-worth grounded in authenticity. Number 2. Challenging over-celebration of emotions. A Sigma female mom doesn't place excessive weight on emotions, and this can be both her strength and her challenge. She doesn't believe in making feelings the center of every discussion or decision. To her, emotions are valid but not all-encompassing. This doesn't mean she dismisses them. Rather, she teaches her children to approach their feelings with balance and practicality. She wants them to learn how to process their emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. For some, this approach is empowering. Her children may grow up with a sense of emotional control and resilience that's rare in a world often obsessed with overanalyzing feelings. They learn that not every bad day requires a meltdown, and not every hurt feeling needs to be dissected endlessly. Her style equips them to face a world where emotional steadiness is often a survival skill. They're less likely to crumble under pressure or let fleeting emotions dictate their decisions, which can be a significant advantage as they grow. However, her understated approach to emotions can sometimes feel cold, especially to children who naturally crave validation or comfort. While she may not always offer hugs or long heart-to-hearts, it's not out of lack of love. It's her belief in the power of self-reliance. For children who need more emotional reassurance, this can lead to frustration or misunderstandings. The tension lies in her intention versus perception. Her goal is to raise emotionally resilient children, but her methods might leave some feeling unsupported in vulnerable moments. It's a delicate balance. She values strength over sensitivity, but the key challenge for her is learning when to soften and let her children see that vulnerability too has its place. Number 3. Cool or distant. a matter of perception. Whether a Sigma female mom is seen as cool or distant depends entirely on perspective. To some, her quiet, introspective nature might feel like a breath of fresh air, free from the hovering, micromanaging tendencies of traditional parenting. To others, her approach may seem detached, even emotionally unavailable, leaving them wondering if they've been left to fend for themselves. It's a paradox that defines her, and it's not easily understood at first glance. Her coolness comes from her independence and the way she encourages her children to forge their own paths. She's not interested in being the kind of mom who needs to be needed. Instead, she equips her kids with the tools to make decisions, solve problems, and navigate life on their own. For children who thrive in this environment, she's the ultimate role model, teaching them how to be confident without constant hand-holding. On the flip side, her autonomy can sometimes come across as emotional distance, especially for children who crave more overt displays of affection. Her love is real, but it's not always loud. She doesn't rely on frequent hugs, over-the-top praise, or constant involvement in every aspect of her kids' lives to show she cares. For some children, this can feel like an absence, even when it's just her way of respecting their individuality. Ultimately, her parenting style is an exercise in balance. Those who understand her intentions may see her as effortlessly cool, someone who trusts her kids enough to let them grow. For others, the lack of conventional warmth might be a challenge to accept. But that's the beauty of the Sigma mom. She's not trying to fit anyone's mold, and in doing so, she teaches her children to embrace that same unapologetic authenticity in themselves. Number 4, a complex mix of presence and absence, a Sigma. Female mom has a presence that lingers even when she's not physically around. Her children feel her influence in the values she's instilled and the lessons she's passed on, often in subtle, indirect ways. She's not the type to hover or constantly remind her kids of what they should be doing. Instead, her parenting is marked by quiet guidance, giving her children the space to make decisions and discover their independence. This unique blend of presence and absence can be both powerful and perplexing. Her children may not always notice her impact in the moment, but they'll often find themselves falling back on her wisdom when it matters most. Whether it's solving a problem, standing up for themselves, or navigating a tricky situation, her teachings are like a quiet voice in the back of their minds. It's not loud or pushy, but it's undeniably there. However, this approach can sometimes be a double-edged sword. While her children might appreciate the freedom to grow on their own, there can be moments when they wish for more overt involvement or emotional closeness. Her understated way of parenting might feel like a gap rather than a gift, especially during tough times when they crave a more hands-on approach. But what makes her style so remarkable is its depth. Her love isn't flashy or constantly visible, but it's deeply rooted in everything she does for her children. They might only fully understand the extent of her care as they grow older and reflect on the subtle but significant ways she shaped their lives. Her presence in absence is her way of saying, "I trust you." And while it may take time to appreciate, it's a testament to her belief in her children's ability to thrive on their own. Number 5, not every "I love you" is spoken. A Sigma. Female mom rarely says, "I love you," in the typical ways people expect. She's not the parent who showers her kids with endless affirmations or grand displays of affection. Instead, her love is quiet, steady, and woven into the fabric of her actions. She might not say the words often, but her children feel her care in the way she shows up for them, even in the smallest, most practical ways. Her unwavering support is her love language. She'll be the one ensuring her kids have what they need to succeed, whether that's helping them prepare for a big challenge or simply creating an environment where they feel safe to grow. It might not come with warm hugs or sentimental talks, but it's there in her consistency. She doesn't just promise to be there for her children. She is there every single time in ways that matter most. This understated way of showing love can be both comforting and, at times, confusing. For kids who crave verbal or physical expressions of affection, it might feel like something is missing. They might wonder why she doesn't say, "I love you," as often, or why her love doesn't look like what they see in movies or other families. But her love isn't absent. It's just different. It's in the way she listens without judgment, in the sacrifices she makes without expecting recognition, and in the trust she places in her children to figure things out on their own. Her actions are her declaration of love, proving that words are not always the loudest way to say, "I care." Over time, her kids come to realize that her brand of love is fiercely loyal, deeply committed, and always, without fail, present. Number 6. Cool-headed in crisis. When chaos strikes, a Sigma female mom is the rock everyone turns to. Her calm, analytical approach in high-pressure situations sets her apart from the typical reactionary parent, while others may lose their composure or rush to fix things impulsively. She takes a step back, evaluates the situation, and moves forward with a plan. Her ability to stay grounded under pressure isn't just impressive, it's transformative for her children. In moments of crisis, she doesn't let emotions cloud her judgment. Whether it's a sudden family emergency, a major setback, or even a heated argument, she operates with a clear mind and steady resolve. Her focus isn't on reacting, but on resolving, breaking down problems into manageable steps. For her kids, this is an invaluable life lesson. They learn that fear and panic don't solve problems, clarity and action do. Her calm demeanor is also a source of comfort. When things go wrong, her kids know they don't have to face chaos alone. Even if she's not overly expressive with reassurances, her presence is enough to make them feel secure. They see her as someone who can handle life's storms without flinching, and that sense of stability gives them the confidence to do the same. However, her composed nature can sometimes be misinterpreted as detachment. Her kids might occasionally wonder why she doesn't react more emotionally in moments of crisis, but as they grow, they come to understand that her calmness is her way of protecting them, showing them that panic isn't the answer, and that solutions come from a steady mind. Her strength in chaos doesn't just solve problems, it shapes her children into individuals who can face challenges with resilience, grace, and a quiet sense of control. Number 7. Unapologetic, non-helicopter style. A Sigma female mum doesn't hover. She doesn't constantly monitor her kids' every move, nor does she jump in to solve their problems at the first sign of trouble. Instead, she has an unapologetically hands-off approach, rooted in trust. She believes that her role as a parent isn't to control her children, but to guide them, providing a foundation strong enough for them to stand on their own. Her non-helicopter style can feel almost radical in a world where many parents micromanage every detail of their children's lives. While other parents might overschedule, oversupervise, or intervene in every minor issue, the Sigma mum steps back and lets her kids navigate life independently. She knows that mistakes are some of the greatest teachers, and she's not afraid to let her children stumble if it means they'll learn how to get back up on their own. This approach fosters resilience and critical thinking in her kids. They learn to solve problems, make decisions, and take responsibility for their actions without relying on someone else to swoop in and fix things for them. It's an empowering way to parent, teaching them self-reliance in a way that's increasingly rare in today's overprotective parenting culture. Of course, this style isn't without its challenges. Her kids might sometimes feel like she's distant or uninvolved, especially compared to peers whose parents are always present and hands-on. But over time, they come to appreciate her trust in their abilities. Instead of feeling smothered, they feel respected, and that respect becomes the foundation of their confidence. The Sigma mum's approach isn't about neglect, it's about freedom. By refusing to hover, she equips her children with the skills they need to thrive, not just under her watchful eye, but out in the real world. Number 8. Her struggles become lessons. A Sigma female mum doesn't pretend to have it all figured out. She's honest about her struggles and imperfections, and instead of hiding them from her children, she turns them into valuable life lessons. She doesn't try to project an image of perfection or act as though she's immune to life's challenges. For her, being a parent isn't about being flawless, it's about being real. When she faces hardships, she uses them as opportunities to show her kids how to handle adversity with strength and grace. Whether it's a career setback, a strained relationship, or a personal failure, she's open about what she's going through and how she's working to overcome it. She's not afraid to admit when she's wrong, and she's equally unafraid to share how she's learning and growing from the experience. This transparency teaches her children that struggle is a natural part of life, not something to fear or avoid. They see firsthand that challenges don't define a person. How they respond to those challenges does. By watching her navigate life's ups and downs, they learn resilience, problem solving, and the value of perseverance. Her approach also dispels the myth of perfection. Her kids don't grow up thinking they need to be flawless to succeed or be loved. Instead, they understand that mistakes are inevitable and that the real measure of a person is their ability to adapt, learn, and keep going. Some parents might shield their kids from their flaws, thinking it's better to maintain an idealized image. But the Sigma mom knows that vulnerability is strength. By sharing her struggles, she gives her children a realistic and empowering blueprint for navigating life with authenticity, self-awareness, and courage. Number 9. The master of controlled chaos. A Sigma female mom may seem like she's letting things run wild, but beneath the surface, there's a hidden structure that keeps everything in balance. While others might panic when life feels like it's spiraling, she thrives in the chaos, an expert in maintaining control without ever making it obvious. Her approach to parenting isn't rigid or micromanaged. Instead, it's a finely tuned system of adaptability, where flexibility meets foresight. She understands that life is unpredictable, so rather than trying to impose strict order, she sets flexible boundaries and goals that allow her kids to navigate their own way while still operating within a broader framework. Her house might look like organized chaos at times, perhaps with a flurry of activities, deadlines, and impromptu changes. But there's a method to the madness. She knows exactly when to step in, when to let go, and how to maintain balance without suffocating her children with too much structure or too little. This ability to maintain control while allowing freedom is a rare gift. While other parents might feel the need to micromanage or impose a strict schedule to prevent things from getting out of hand, the Sigma mom knows that true growth happens in the space between structure and spontaneity. She teaches her kids how to embrace unpredictability and think on their feet, all while understanding that there's always a bigger picture, a plan unfolding beneath the surface. Her children learn that chaos doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be an opportunity for creativity, learning, and growth. They don't just survive the unpredictability of life. They learn how to adapt, make decisions on their own, and thrive in any situation. For them, the Sigma mom's controlled chaos becomes a masterclass in resilience and the art of balancing freedom with responsibility. Number 10. Emotionally unfiltered. A Sigma female mom doesn't sugarcoat emotions, and she's not one to hide behind a veil of unnecessary sentimentality. Her approach to feelings is refreshingly raw and honest. While other parents might soften the blow of tough situations with reassurance or overly comforting words, the Sigma mom gives it to her kids straight. She shows them that emotions are complex, multifaceted, and often messy, and that's okay. This emotional unfilteredness can be both refreshing and jarring, depending on the perspective. Her children grow up understanding that emotions aren't something to be smoothed over or avoided. They learn to face feelings head-on, whether it's frustration, disappointment, anger, or joy. She doesn't soften the harsh edges of life with empty platitudes, and she doesn't act as though every bump in the road can be fixed with a quick hug or reassuring phrase. Instead, she lets her children feel their emotions fully, all while providing the tools to process them in a healthy, constructive way. For her, honesty is the foundation of emotional maturity. Rather than projecting a false sense of perfection or emotional stability, she teaches her kids that it's okay to not have everything figured out, and that vulnerability is a sign of strength, not weakness. This raw honesty helps them become emotionally intelligent, capable of navigating their own feelings without the need for constant validation or excessive reassurance. Her approach may leave some people, particularly those more accustomed to traditional displays of comfort, feeling like she's not nurturing enough. But for her kids, it's a gift. They understand emotions in their truest form, free from sugarcoating, and can deal with the complexities of life with a clear, grounded sense of reality. In the end, a Sigma female mom is anything but conventional, and that's precisely what makes her approach to parenting so unique and powerful. She isn't bound by society's expectations of what a mother should be. There's no formula, no script she follows. Instead, her strength lies in her authenticity, her ability to embrace independence while providing a firm yet unspoken presence. She trusts her children to navigate life's complexities, guiding them not through constant oversight but through the lessons she imparts by example. While some might view her style as distant or cold, it's often a reflection of her belief in self-reliance and resilience. Her children are equipped not only with the tools to succeed, but with the emotional intelligence to handle challenges without relying on constant validation. In her own way, she shows that love, strength, and wisdom don't always come wrapped in traditional forms. Sometimes it's in the quiet moments of support, the raw honesty, and the trust that they can stand on their own. The Sigma female mom is a reminder that parenting doesn't have to fit into a box to be effective. It's the messy, real, unapologetic moments that often teach the most. And while her style might not be for everyone, it's clear that it shapes children who are resilient, self-aware, and capable of navigating a world that often asks for more than just the easy answers. In her hands, chaos becomes an opportunity, struggles turn into lessons, and love is shown in ways that words could never fully express. If you found yourself captivated by the raw, real, and unapologetically authentic approach of the Sigma female mom, then you're going to want to stick around for more. Parenting isn't one size fits all, and here we explore the powerful, unconventional ways that shape our lives. So, if you want to dive deeper into the world of insightful, thought-provoking content that challenges norms and embraces the extraordinary, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Join the community, because this is just the beginning. Together, we'll keep exploring the complexities that make us all better, stronger, and more real. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation. Thanks for watching, and bye.